The Roses. Yo, yeah, just went to cinema. Thought I would check it out, right? This new version is directed by Jay Roach. It is written by Tony McNamara. The film is produced by Ed Sinclair, Jay Roach, Michelle Graham, Lee Clark, Tom Carver, right, and Adam Ackland. It is executive produced by Jonathan R. Adler, Michael Adler, Kate Collins, Catherine Pomfret, and Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch. Theodore Shapiro took care of the music. Florin Hofmeister is on cinematography. John Paul edits the piece. Right? Casting was Nina Gold. Production design is Mark Riker. Art direction is Dana Ansakar, Elliot Coogan, Richard Hardy, and Kevin Timon Hill. Set decoration is Jodie Farr. Costume design, P.C. Williams. Hair and makeup, we've got Matthew Cahill, Rebecca Cardeneza, Kerry Gibson, Jasmine Hargrove, Diana Estrada Hudson, Samuel James, Ryo Makawa, Natasha Matti, Chira Ugalini, Wakana Yoshihara, and Chantel McDonald. Okie dokie. So we then have got dum dum dum. Okay, stunts. We have Laurent Plancel, Paul Kennington, Jeff Howitt Davis, Rachel Evelyn, Matt Da Silva, and Peter Alberti. All right, our cast. And it was a good cast. Oh my days, the cast was great, right? So the Roses, we have Ivy Rose, played by Olivia Colman, and Theo Rose, played by Benedict Cumberbatch. They've got 2 children, right? Hattie, played by Delaney Quinn as the younger version. The older version, played by Hala Finley. And then Roy Rose, played by Ollie Robinson, the younger. And Wells Rappaport, or Rappaport, I should say, plays the older version of Rory. Right, they've got they're good friends. Right, there is Barry, played by Andy Samberg. He is married to Amy, played by Kate McKinnon. Then there is Sally, played by Zoe Chow, and she's married to Rory, played by Jamie Demetrio. Right, Ivy has 2 employees, right? There's Jane, played by Sanita Mani, and Jeffrey, played by Nakuti Jatwa. Who else? Alison Janney is Eleanor, Ivy's lawyer. Will Smith is Derek. Sylvia, a food critic, is played by Caroline Patridge. There's Sophie, played by Margaret Clooney. Ollie Dabous plays himself. Janice is played by Belinda Bromilou. Aki Kutabe is Alan. Lily is played by Emily Pigford. Paul Pope is the commercial announcer. News anchor is Ranjani Brow. The voice of their house AI, Hal, is Matt Corboy. Right? So I would say that's our main lot of people, right? The gist of the film: life seems easy for picture-perfect couple Ivy and Theo. Successful careers, great kids, an enviable sex life. But underneath the facade of the perfect family is a tinderbox of competition and resentment that's ignited when Theo's professional dreams come crashing down. Which is all true. I mean, the sex life, we don't really know, right? I mean, all of that is very true. Now, the thing being, though, we know it's a facade because we start in the middle. You know what I mean? So it's just like, if you started with them being perfect and then you see the demise, right? That would make, the synopsis a bit more sensical, I would say. Because, we start the film and Ivy and Theo are in the middle of a therapy session, which is amusing, right? It's like, write 10 things you like about the other person. They have arms. Yeah, the shape of her head, right? It is, it starts off in that manner. So you're kind of like, okay. Now, it does, like the insults at the beginning, they do make you chuckle. But there is a line kind of thing, right? It seems that they're trying not to be too harsh, right? At the start. Now, there are points where it does get, oh my God, there's some glorious lines. Oh my days. This some of the thing that gets thrown around, boy. Right? I think it's Sally at one point says, "Oh, can you fill my drink? Although you can never fill my pussy with your tiny dick." Which is just, and like, a lot of the time when, you're burning someone, it's all about the delivery, right? If the delivery is off, it's just kind of like, yo, son, what the fuck are you saying? Why are you stuttering like a fool? You know what I mean? You can diffuse and turn that shit back on someone, right? So it's all about the delivery. And, woo, like, everyone delivers their lines very well. Very well. I mean, in the dinner party incident with Sally and Rory, it's just like the way they're doing it. Oh, it's so funny, but so dry, because the film is very fucking dry, right? Now, it's been a long old time, right? It's been so long since I watched the original film. I do believe I enjoyed it, right? Because we were coming off of Romancing the Nile and, I want to say Romancing the Stone, right? That was the sequel. Or it may have been the other way around. But we were coming off those films, right? And you just thought that there was this great chemistry. You know what I mean? This really good chemistry between everyone involved, right? It was oh my god. My mind has gone completely blank. Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, and Danny DeVito, right? Now, as I say, it's been a long time, but I feel that version was more comedic, and this one was definitely drier. It was that dark, typical British type of humor, right? Like if you're watching something like Blackadder or Black Books, or you know what I mean, just one of them things, Alan Partridge, just some of that like straight cutting, you know what I mean, humor. And oh my god, there's just something about that kind of shit when done well, right? When done well. And yeah, I would say the humor is, you know what I mean, it is on point for the most part. As I say, sometimes it feels like they go a little light, right? Like, you know what I mean? You think, in that instance, I feel you're saying something harsher than that, right? You're gonna cut deeper. You're going for the motherfucking jugular, son. What are we doing? You know, but then in other times, they're just like, oh, yes, that was good. Oh, that was vicious. That was nice. Yeah, that warmed my heart right there, you know? You know what I mean? There's times like that. Uh, so yeah, like, boom, our delivery, you do buy Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch as a couple, which, oh, that's so important. You have to buy that, right? We do buy them as a couple. And the thing, so we have them at therapy at the start, and then we jump to how they met because they're kind of reminiscing and blah, blah, blah. So we do see how they actually meet, which is, you know, that's yeah, it's nice. Though the one thing about them when they meet, right? Because I'm kind of like, then she's preparing food, and I'm thinking, yo, those hands are gonna be stinky, right? Now, obviously, right? I mean, there's things that you could definitely overlook in certain circumstances, right? But it was just like, yo, she got. I mean, well, they're both. Nah, I ain't even gonna say it. I ain't even gonna. Just because I always find like I never really get the analogy because I ain't come across a fishy. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've never really understood the analogy. So to try and make the joke, you know what I mean? So we're not doing that. But anyway, so we see how they meet, and it's all nice, right? And then we kind of just get them. They've had kids, and so we see the kids grow and all of this, and you know what I mean. We're just watching their careers. I will say that there is like a part of the film that does feel a little bit flabby, right? It's having, you know, as I think we're watching Theo's career rise, and then, you know, and then we're watching Ivy's career, right? And I understand we're building to then show the downfall, right? But there are points where you do kind of think, I mean, maybe this is a little long, right? That sequence could have been shorter, I think, because we're kind of here to see the car crash, right? We don't necessarily care about the drive before the crash. You know what I mean? You just want to see the crash, right? So yeah, some of that, not all of it, right? Some of it, you just want to, you know what I mean? The friends work. The friends are good. I did feel that, Ivy's employees do seem kind of wasted, right? It does feel like they're kind of like Sunita Mani is great, but it does feel like she is underutilized in the film. And you're like, do they need to be there? Nikita Gatway as Jeffrey does seem very stereotypical. You know what I mean? That character just seems like that's what they always do with the gay character. You know what I mean? So, but other than those characters, I think all the others are played pretty well. You know what I mean? Even the kids aren't too bad. We don't get much with them, but the kids are pretty, the kids are played pretty well and all of that kind of thing. But yeah, Alison Janney is great as Eleanor, very short and sharp. But yeah, the friends, Kate McKinnon, Andy Samberg, Jamie Demetrio, and Zoe Chow. Oh, great. I mean, Zoe Chow especially is just always great. But yeah, it's a good cast. Tremendous cast. Like just the sets, right? The scenery, just all of this, the design, like the house and the cookery and just all of these elements that they're kind of throwing in there it works. It really does, jump out at you, right? So we are building this life, right? We do see, all of this, and so it does add to what it is could be lost, and just the way the film ends, I think, because I think in my head I thought there was a sequel to the original, but I think there's only one, right? I know it's just one book, and I didn't even know it was the original film was based off of a book. I only just found that shit out to do this. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, only one. But I do think that, it's got kind of legs. It could be more here, possibly, But I think if you're a fan of the first film, I think this will work for you, for sure. If you like a dark satire, right? If that's your kind of thing. It's funny because, yeah, we got the new Spinal Tap dropping soon, and it does kind of, it does play a little guesty at times, right? So if that's your thing, if you like Blackadder, Alan Partridge, right, those kind of things, then I think The Roses will work. Because yes, there is, as I said, there is that flabbier part in the middle, but aside from that, I definitely laughed a good few times. You know what I mean? So yeah, it will make you chuckle, it will make you smile. I mean, watching the demise of a relationship can be rough, right? Depending on what's going on in your life. So maybe think about that aspect of it. But yeah, The Roses is worth a watch. So yes, that's my take, people. Do with it as you will. The Roses.